Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another gear review video and today it's going to be on the LifeStraw Go Bottle water filter basically. If you haven't heard of it, it is a very cheap, easy and simple way to filter water for mainly hiking, but yeah, backpacking, even just emergency situations, anything where you think you could get stuck without clean water, or going somewhere that has water that's maybe sketchy and you just want to make sure that what you're drinking is definitely clean and filtered. Personally, I've been using these water bottles for at least 2 years. Started with my trek to Everest Base Camp in Nepal where the water definitely wasn't clean. But yeah, these things saved me. It's honestly such a good system and I've been using it in all my hikes throughout Victoria and Tasmania ever since. Yeah, it's the only water filter I've ever used, but it has definitely done wonders for me, and I'm going to run through all the specs and everything now and tell you guys how to use them and all that sort of stuff. So this here is the LifeStraw Go bottle. Basically, it's just a normal drink bottle, plastic, BPA free. It's got a little sipper at the top here, which is how you drink the water out of it, and you can just remove the lid to fill it up with water, and this is basically the filter in here. So when you suck through the straw, it basically just comes through the filter and then into your mouth, which is how it makes sure it's clean. So obviously to fill it up, it's super easy. You just literally fill this up. This part is actually dishwasher safe as well, which is good. And it's got a little carabiner to attach to your backpack or anything. So the original LifeStraw product was actually a straw like this, which I do still sell. And basically it's got a little sippy bit on top of the straw, so you don't actually have the bottle with it. And then basically you just sip through the straw straight into a stream or a lake or whatever it might be. But obviously for me, I would much prefer the bottle with it. That way you don't have to be at the water source when you need the water. You can just fill this up wherever you want with dirty water, put it in and then sip on it as you want as you're hiking or anything like that. And this whole setup only weighs 220 grams for the bottle and the filter, so it's perfect for hiking. To me, that's pretty lightweight. Yeah, definitely worth it in my opinion. So I'll tell you guys now what the bottle actually filters out, and I'll put it down the bottom of the screen here as well because there's a lot of nines and I don't want to confuse you guys. So basically it removes 99.999999% of bacteria, which includes E. coli and salmonella. It removes 99.999% of parasites, and it removes 99.999% of microplastics, silt, sand, and cloudiness. The only things I could seem to find that it doesn't remove is lead and viruses. Some of the other products do remove lead, but it's not something that I'm worried about for hiking. If you are, then you could get one of the other products that do remove lead. And then viruses. As I said, I went to Nepal. I trekked Everest Base Camp. I used this bottle for over a month in Nepal, and it was fine. I've never had any issues back home here either with viruses or anything, so it's up to you. There are some products which do remove viruses if that's something that you are concerned about. I know those little UV pens that you kind of put in the water and like swirl around, which uses obviously UV to kill bacteria and everything. They do remove viruses, some of them, but then they don't remove chemicals, and if you're just using the UV pen, it's not actually going through a filter as such either, so it's not going to filter out little particles or anything like that. So for me, this is definitely my choice of water filter while hiking and backpacking. As I said, I've only had positive experiences with it, and yeah, I'm definitely a fan. There are also other products on the market that are filters like this. The Sawyer one is definitely a very popular one for through hikers and hikers in general, which has been recommended to us, but it just seems a bit more complicated and you need a bigger setup and more bottles and stuff. You have to like back filter it and stuff as well. Well, with some of the products that I've looked into anyway. For me, this is super simple. Like literally just fill it up and drink it, and I'm quite happy with this. This filter does last 4,000 litres, roughly. So say you're using 3 or 4 litres a day, that's going to last 250 days, which to me is a lot. Some of the Sawyer ones I think do last up to like 100,000 litres or something crazy, like a lot more. But honestly, this is my choice. As I said, this bottle costs about $60 in Australia, and then these filters to replace this after your 4,000 litres, they cost about $25, so it's pretty cheap I think, and does the job for us. So I'll run through what to do when you first buy them, and then how to store them if you're not going to be using them for a long period of time, and also sometimes the filter can get kind of clogged up, and I'll run through how to unclog it also for that. But first I just want to let you know about their program which gives back to those in need. So the LifeStraw Give Back program is something that I absolutely love about this company. Basically for every product sold, it provides one child in need safe water for an entire year, and then for every 500 products sold, they supply a community purifier into a school. So I think it's awesome that they're giving back to, those in need in Africa and Kenya and places like that, because safe water is so important and it's something we definitely take for granted in Australia. So they actually employ local staff in Kenya to help run their program, and by the end of this year, 2021, they'll have provided 4.6 million kids with safe drinking water for a year each, so that's pretty impressive. And I'm definitely happy to be supporting a program like that. So when you first buy one of these, what you should do is take it apart, wash the bottle, pull the straw, unscrew the straw, don't pull it. I think I've done this one up too tight, but anyway. So wash the bottle and wash the lid and the mouthpiece. And then what you want to do with the actual straw is just run it under the tap for 60 seconds to get all the water through it. And then put it back into your mouthpiece, the cap. Fill the bottle up with water and then submerge the filter. Do it up and make sure the whole filter is covered and just soak it for 10 minutes. Then to prime it, you just need to take a big few sips through the mouthpiece. To start with, it can be hard as kind of the air's in the wrong places and things like that. But just keep going until it starts coming through, and then the flow should get a lot better. Then whenever you finish using it, just take out the bottle. You can obviously wash all this, and then you basically just want to blow through the mouthpiece, and it's going to like kind of get rid of any excess water that's sitting in the straw so that it doesn't like go moldy or anything like that. So just a few big breaths and you'll see the water kind of come out, and then once it stops coming out, then you know that most of the water's out of it. After you've been using the bottle for a while and you think you are nearing the end of the filter and it needs replacing, the filter will actually stop filtering the water, so it'll stop sucking through. So if you think you've used about 4,000 litres, or work out roughly if you've used it for maybe 6 months a year for 2 years or whatever, like work it out to about 250 days of full-time use, then that basically means your filter needs replacing. If your straw starts to clog up and you know it hasn't been used 4,000 litres and it's nowhere near the end of its life, maybe you've only used it for like a month. It's actually happened to me, but also I wasn't storing mine properly, which I'll tell you about in a minute. It can actually, stop sucking the water through, and you actually just can't get anything through it, even though it may be new or anything like that. So to unclog it, I'll tell you now how to do that. So you basically just need to remove your straw, again, from your mouthpiece and cap, and then just get a bowl or a jar or something and fill it with 4 tablespoons of coconut milk, and then 2 cups of water, mix it together, and then basically just submerge your straw in that solution, and then let it stand for 1 hour. After an hour, just pull it out and then rinse it under the tap to get all the solution like off the actual straw and just from a little bit of inside it. Rinse it under a tap. Then also just clean the rest of your bottle. Make sure nothing's clogged in your mouthpiece as well. Rinse it all off while you're at it, and then put it back together and start sipping, and it should work fine. We have tried this at home, has happened to mine and Matt's straws, and that solution is a very simple fix. For long-term storage, you do actually need to make a saltwater solution to keep in your bottle to have the straw in, but there are quite a few steps to it, and I want to make sure you guys get it right. So I'll put a link in the description below to where you can find that document on the LifeStraw website, which tells you how to store it long-term. So say if you knew you weren't going to use this for a couple of months and it was just going to sit in your wardrobe, then I would definitely make the saltwater solution to keep this in, just to make sure it all works properly, and if it's not going to be used for a while, that it's still going to be fine when you go to use it again next time. So this bottle is 650 mils. It does actually come in a 1 litre version. I haven't seen that one yet. This one I got from Anaconda. They also sell like BCF and any of your probably basic camping stores in Australia. But online on their website they do have a 1 litre version, which would be handy. Obviously the more water you carry the better. The only other tip that I did read online on their website was that the actual filter shouldn't be frozen. If it does get frozen, like maybe you're even outside camping and it just gets below 0 and somehow it freezes, it does actually say on the website that the filter needs to be replaced if it freezes. So that's also something to keep in mind. But honestly, I couldn't recommend these things enough. Like, as I said, I've used it for so long now and it's absolutely the best. Especially hiking, while in Everest Base Camp, a lot of people would, spend time with their pens, like filtering their water, or put tablets in it and they have to wait half an hour for the water to actually become clean. These doesn't use any chemicals, any iodine, anything like that. It literally just uses the process of like physical filtering. And the only downside is the viruses, but I've had no issues with that so far, touch wood. So I think this is definitely a great option, especially for those just starting out and you don't want something complicated. Literally just fill this bottle up and use it. It's very easy, relatively cheap in my opinion, and just a very easy option. So if you are just starting out, I'll definitely consider one of these, but look around, it's up to you. Hope this review has helped, and yeah, just get out there and enjoy the great outdoors, and happy hiking.